Hi guys, we're back. June is gone. July is here. July is here, which means fireworks in like 2 days, and I'm so excited. Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. Which also means, yeah. I know. And I'm like, well, and I told her, I said, don't stress about it. I said, we're not going to start cooking the food until like 5 anyway. And the fireworks aren't until dusk, which is like 9. So it's like, I told her, I said, if you guys are late, that's okay. I'm making buffalo chicken dip for the spicy lovers. I'm gonna try to make some kind of like cream cheese, bacon, cheese ball thing. I haven't found a recipe or anything yet, but I'm gonna try to find something for our IBS girlies that cannot have the spice, aka her. So, yeah, but and then we're having um, burgers and brats. But I'm gonna use my Blackstone this year, so I'm gonna get when I see if I can get one of those grill like burger press things. I'm excited. I'm ex- I'm excited for it. It's gonna be fun. Yep. Yes. Yep. I. They're content. Yeah. Yeah. Whoop. Whoop whoop. Yeah. That's okay. All of our. You've broken in. That's what that's called. You've broken. It's a well loved book. Let's put it that way. Sweet. Okay. So describe it to us. What is it? Describe it to us. What is it? No, I mean like the cover, the book and the cover. I guess I was meaning the cover, but I'm like, yeah, we can describe the book too. But yeah, okay. Mm. Okay, okay. Question: do you remember the show Temple Run? Like I swear, there's a an old Nickelodeon show called Temple Run, something like Temple Run, something like that. Hold on, it's very similar. I'm Legends of the Hidden Temple. Legends of the Hidden Temple. Oh my god, that's it. Okay, yeah. That's what I remember. It's like a I don't it was like this you had to like go through and compete and yeah, like you had to go through and you had to be like you were competing against somebody else and you had to do like different like it's essentially Survivor without the voting people off and you had like different things, different like components that you had to do. Yeah. Mhm. Mhm. Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, okay. Sweet. Sweet. I mean, if it's a book about like a Hunger Games survivor hybrid, you can almost like if anyone knows anything about Hunger Games, there's a lot of death, so it's like yeah, yeah, it's gonna happen. Ooh, sweet. Yeah. Instead of like padding, instead of padding being at the bottom, yeah, instead of padding being at the bottom, it's like eternal bliss or lava or fire or whatever. Yeah. Yep. I'm excited. It's gonna be good. Mm-hmm. Mm. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. For for people that don't know me very well, I experience really strong emotions when I read. So it's like if a character is like feeling like disappointment or like regret, it's like I feel it with them. It's really weird, but that's I feel really strong emotions when I read. So if somebody does something that really irritates me, I will really get it. I will get up this physically upset. So it's gonna be exciting. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. It's all right. We'll work through it. Oh, it's all right. We got it. Oh, yes. Sweet. Awesome. Sweet. Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah. I know. I've got sneak peeks. I get the sneak peeks and you don't. You have a lot going on. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, that's fair. Mm, yeah. I was hoping you would be. Oh my god, I love Lurkin. Mm. Oh, his character. Oh my gosh, man. The from this point on, his character goes through it. Yeah. Oh. I'm not saying anything. You're not getting a peep out of me. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm. she, I I love her character because she's strong, but in not in the stereotypical way that we think of strong, like a strong female character. But she's not like the stereotypical strong female character that we get in like a large portion of fantasy books in today's world, which is not a bad thing. Like I'm all for a strong female character, but it's like it's almost oversaturated at this point. But Elid's character is one of those like she's one of those few characters that is strong but in a different way, and I like that a lot. Like, yeah. But the yeah, and it's like but trends like fluctuate so much that it's like any at this point anymore anytime like a Hollywood announces a book to movie adaptation that's based off of a book that went viral, I'm like, yeah, there's probably a good chance that this is going to get canceled in like 3 months, like because that's happened so many times. But I don't know if it's because at the time when they started they're thinking, oh, this is big, we're gonna make so much money, and then people stop talking about it and they're like, oh wait, this isn't nearly as big as we thought it was, we don't want to do this anymore. And I'm like, way to show how yeah, yeah, yeah. And it's like, yeah, but it's like they're so disconnected from the internet that they don't realize how trends work. And I'm just like, I feel like that song "Welcome to the Internet." There's a song there somewhere. It's like, "Welcome to the 21st century." Hmm. Oh my god. Yeah. Uh huh. Yeah. But it's like if you I get his character is really frustrating, but it's like I that's where I took a break. I put the book down and I stepped away from it and read a few other things and came back because it was one of those points where I was so physically mad and upset and irritated at that I'm like, okay, I need a break from this. I need to pull my brain out of this for a bit and touch some grass and then come back. But it's like if you can separate yourself from Aylin's POV, it's like I can understand he would why they are acting like why they just reject her the way they do, because they have been in control of this country for years, because the heir to the throne just up and disappears out of nowhere and they have no idea what happens. Like, as a reader, you still don't quite know all of what happens, but it's like they don't know what happened to her, and all of a sudden some young woman comes up out of nowhere, says, I'm the heir to the throne, where's my castle? And they're like, excuse me, we have been running this country for several years now. You have no idea what your country's about because you were a child when you left. Like, it makes sense. Like, she has no idea about like how her country works because she's been gone the entire time. And it's like, looking back at it now, I get it. But at the time, no. Hmm. Yeah. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that was like that hurt me, and I'm like, oh, it's a dog, but I'm just like, ah, ah. Evangeline, the little girl, is like so sweet. Oh yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh. Me too. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And and it's like, well, and I think, I don't know, and that's really interesting because, like, Aelin and Aedion, they both played this facade, this character, but it's like it's so different to see how, like, Aedion's character was his character that he played was a like arrogant playboy, and now he's a like very protective cousin that wants to, or whatever. I don't even know what kind of relation they are, but like I always assumed that's what it was, but I have no idea. But like very protective of Aelin. Yeah, they do really feel like they feel like siblings. That's the thing too. It's just strange. I'm not quite sure how to describe their relation. I need to go back and reread things, but and it's like I don't know. He can it. Mhm, mhm. Yeah. Mhm. It's a very unique thing. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. Mhm. Oh yeah, I remember it. I remember it very vividly. Yeah, yeah, because it gets to that point where you're like, it's like it's building up this concept of like, oh, they're going to get together. Are they going to get together? And then it's like hit with this, and it's like, am I going to have to read a story about her half being forced to fall in love with someone else because I can't handle those kind of plot lines? Yeah. Ah. I know. Ah. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. 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 Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. Mhm. Mhm. Oh yeah. Oh. Okay. So I'm still reading Eldest. I'm over halfway, about like 60%, I think, of the way through. Like these last several chapters, there's been quite a few like emotional bits. It's like Aragon's with the elves, and he's kind of developing his power, and he's kind of developed a crush with a character, and but it's like sh- she has like very strongly kind of dismissed it, and he is just like really heartbroken, and then he's trying to train, but there's this one elf, young elf, and some of his friends that are just being a-holes, is the best way I can describe them. And it's like constantly dogging him and talking about how like horrible he is, and how they waited years to get a new rider only for the egg to pick another human, um, like Galbatoric, worse, a cripple. You've doomed us all, Aragon, and the instant you touch Saphira's egg, do not expect us to welcome your presence. And he's like, just getting dogged constantly. And there's like his mentor, it doesn't feel like he's comforting him at all. And it's like, I don't know, I was gonna read you this little bit because he's like really kind of gets into like this depressive bit where he's like, he's right, I'm not a fit writer, like at all. And Saphira just jumps onto him, and she's like, do you think so little of my judgment, Aragon? You forget when I was in my egg, Araya exposed me to each and every one of these elves, as well as many of the Varden's children, and I rejected them all. I wouldn't have chosen someone to be my rider unless they could help your race, mine, and the elves. For the three of us share an intertwined fate. You were the right person at the right place at the right time. Never forget that. And I'm like bawling next to, because I was reading it, and it's just like, I don't, for some reason that just hit a lot deeper than I was expecting it to. And it's like, I don't know, he's like, um Christopher Poloni writes like emotions really well with characters. I feel like, um, and it's like he has an ailment, like a pain that they haven't healed yet, and it's getting worse. And he's like, I'm just gonna wither away, and she's like, or like he's like essentially says that he's just gonna end up withering away. I think he says, like, he's like, I'm falling apart, Saphira, like an old horse that's plowed too many fields. Keep holding me with your mind, or I'll drift apart and forget who I am. And she said, I will never let you go and let go of you. And I'm like, I love dragons so much, man. Like, I love dragons so much. But yeah, so that's where I'm at the moment. Like, I don't know. I feel like there's not a lot of action in this one. There's a little bit at the very beginning, but there's a lot of like, it's like a lot of training. So, yeah, like it's developing the race. It's like a race. It's like a world building book because there's a lot of like going over like the customs and traditions of the dwarves and the elves and a lot of that kind of thing. So we're not getting a lot of. We're introduced to some other characters and we're getting their own POVs now. So it's kind of developing in that sense too. But yeah. Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah, that's fair. Mm-hmm. Hey, there you go. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'll have to go some exploring. Hmm. Yeah. Hmm. Oh, that's funny. Yeah. Mm. Mm. Yeah. I wonder if you could find a Reddit. I wonder if we could find a Reddit thread with for books that have a similar vibe to that. Hmm. I have to do some deep diving afterwards, after live stream. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah. Mm. Hmm. Mm. Fair. Yeah. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. That's fair. Yeah. That makes sense. Uh, okay, so when I had my nail appointment this past week, I it was in the evening. It was like at like 6:15, I think it was, which is a lot later than I normally do. And so to waste some time, I went to Target. And you know what happens when I go to Target? Okay, I had been the night in the moth. I had been eyeing this one every time I went to Target for maybe like the past 2 months, um, and like essentially this girl, Sybil, 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 Sybil. Okay, um, she has spent 9 years dreaming. 9 years dreaming of having no dreams at all. But like she has dreams that are like visions, and so she receives these visions from like these six unearthly figures that are known as omens. And so this knight randomly appears, and there's like this kind of this cathedral place that they stay at, and so this knight appears, and so it sounds interesting. So I'm excited. And it said the knight Roderick is his name, has no respect for Sybil's visions, but when Sybil's fellow diviners begin to vanish one by one, she has no choice but to seek his help to find them. For the world outside the cathedral's cloister is wrought with peril. So it's gonna be interesting. Yeah. And so I know I said that I was kind of done with contemporary type stuff, except with a mystery kind of thing, and this one caught my attention very quickly. It's called We Live Here Now. It reminded me of Daisy Darker a little bit, but not quite. It was interesting. Essentially, there's an accident that nearly kills Emily and her husband, Freddie. So they move to London to a country house called Larkin Lodge. The house is gorgeous, striking, and to Emily, everything feels deeply wrong. Everything about it feels wrong, and so let's see. Old boards creak at night, fires go out. So it's kind of like it's like a haunted house, maybe kind of thing. Um, but it says, but these things only happen when Emily's alone, and Freddie doesn't notice anything odd and is happy for their fresh start. So she's the only one that notices it. Um, So yeah, it was kind of interesting. But the house has a lot of secrets, and so she's trying to like discover the secrets of this house. And so I'm like, it sounds really interesting. So, and it's not super long in either. So I'm like, okay. Yeah. Yeah. There's a yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, so I'm currently reading Eldest. So one of my options was to read the next book in the series, which is Brizinger. But I don't know if I'm going to be in the mood to continue. So I don't know if I'll need a break or if I'll want to continue on. So I may take a break after Eldest, maybe. Um, and if I decide to do that, I'm leaning towards Fellowship of the Ring. So Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring. I'm leaning kind of towards this one because I'm really interested to see like the details with like how similar or how different the book and the movie is. Um, so and um, plus I have the audiobooks that Andy Serkis is it. I always say Circus, but I know that's probably not how you say it. Um, Circus. Okay. He's the guy that played Smeagol. He has done the audiobooks, and he does really good like personalization for the different characters. And so I'm kind of excited to kind of do a read along with that, with the audiobook too. So, and then I also put Quicksilver on there because I thought it's been way too long since I've bought this and not read it yet. So that's also an option as well. I know you're super excited for that one. And that one, Quicksilver's audiobook is also on Hoopla as well, so I can rent that. I can borrow that one when the time comes. Yeah. Yes. I'm pretty sure it is anyway. Um, I forgot the name for like 5 seconds there. Yeah. Yep. The audiobook is on there, and it shows the two narrators, so Stella Bloom and Anthony Palmini. Ooh, he's read. It says that he's there's a book called Guild that I've been eyeing for a bit that he also reads as well. It's like a dual narration that he reads. Apparently, that's what Hoopla is saying. So I'm like, hmm. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Mm. Sweet. Ah, that's cool. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Sweet. Awesome. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Hmm. Yeah. Hmm. Hmm. Oh, sweet. Awesome. Gotcha. Sweet. Yeah. Sweet. Sweet. Awesome. Sweet. Awesome. Ooh. Sweet. Yeah. Okay. Just a kind of couple random things. Yeah, okay, there's a book called Project Hail Mary. If you have never heard of that book before, the author of The Martian, there's also a movie that was made about it. Let me see if I can find his name. Um, I have to put the word book because it pulls up the movie. Okay, Andy Weir, 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 something like that. Okay, he wrote the book The Martian, which I've read, and it was really good. But he also wrote another book called Project Hail Mary. And apparently, they released a new trailer like either today or yesterday. But apparently, the trailer, if you have not read the book before, apparently the trailer um, spoils a big surprise, and one of the big surprises in the book, like the very first release trailer, spoils has like a big spoiler in it for the book. So if I don't know why either, I feel like somebody dropped the ball there. So, but yeah. So if you plan on reading the book at all, do not watch the trailer. So, like, I was honestly considering watching the trailer, and then I saw a video earlier this evening about that, and they're like, don't watch the trailer if you plan on reading the book because it spoils part of it. And I'm like, oh, you're a lifesaver. Thank you. But yeah. Also, the new, like, there's new, people are doing edits of, um, Josh Hader. This is the guy that's been cast as Haymitch in the new Hunger Games movie. Apparently, he played this drunk guy in another movie that he's done, and people are comparing him to Woody Harrelson's Haymitch, and it's like, oh my god, it's gonna be so good. They did such a good job. It was in the book. I think it was in the movie called We Were Liars, which is also, it's a TV show, which is also based on a book, I think. But yeah, so yeah, I'm loving those edits right now because it makes me just even that more pumped and hyped for the movie to come out next year. Yes. Mhm. Oh, I saw this. Yeah. Mhm. Mm. Yeah. Mm. Yeah. 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 Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. Mhm. See, that's where it's like where does it draw the line between like something like fan fiction, because essentially fan fiction is essentially the same thing. Yeah, sorry. Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. Mhm. 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 Yeah. Mhm. Advertising for this. Yeah. Is it like is the app completely free, or is it like one of those apps where it's free but then you can pay to get gems and get more, like, read more at a time or get more chat conversations unlocked? Like, yeah. And it's like, yeah. Cuz like, yeah. 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 And that's where it's like my first gut reaction, like listening to you describe it, it's like it feels no different than a fan fiction. And it's like if we start cracking down on that kind of thing, then a lot of like your fan fiction sites are going to get in trouble. Like people that are writing fan fiction are going to get in trouble, and it's going to cause this huge uproar too with a completely different audience. So it's like I don't know, like, and part of me, like in my head is like the like my first gut reaction, which was people are complaining about this purely because AI is involved. If AI wasn't involved, nobody would be complaining about it. But then it's like it goes a step further than just the AI bit because they're the company. I don't know this for sure whether they have like they accept like actual real life money for stuff, but it's like they're paying people to promote things now, so people are getting paid to promote fan fiction type stuff, and it's like fan fiction was purely just a creative art for people to like I don't know, it's just like just to like imagination type creating like that kind of thing. It's like it felt like a I love this series so much that I want to write my own story within this series, or I want to write my own what if story, or like those kind of things. And it's like, but yes, yes, like and the number like after the Twilight series ended, the number of fan fictions that were about Jacob and Renesmee was insane. Like the number of like fan fictions that came out that were like a continuation of Twilight, like there were so many, and it's like it's like that's where it's like I feel like big companies and like not big companies, but like people are trying to market things now more so than they ever have, and it's causing issues. And it's like they're using AI for literally anything and everything, when in reality AI should only be used for things that are actually helpful for the human race. Like helping to like progress medical like cures for things, and like use it for good and not to just make money, if that makes sense. And it's like I don't know, it's so weird. But yeah, like my first gut instinct one like reaction with that was like people are only hating on it because it's AI, because AI is involved. That's the only reason why they're hating it. But then as you continue to describe it, it's like, yeah, I could also see why people would be angry that these people are getting paid to promote this AI thing that everyone hates. But also, like I could see how they would hate on it because of like the injustice towards the authors, that it's like instead of going and reading books from that author, people are just going, because I think I remember seeing a portion of one of those videos, and it was essentially at least the one that I saw, it was like encouraging people to read that instead of the books, or at least that's how I took it. And that's where it's like, okay, this is not fair. Like you can't say that this, because it was like I just can't get enough of them anymore or something like that. And so it's like I'm going to go here to read these now, and I'm going to get more from this. And it's like, how about we actually like talk to people and get book recommendations, and like look at indie authors that have books within that genre that you can, you know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, I can, and it's like I can see that. Yeah. Uh-huh. It's taking that level of way. It's like, yeah, I was just thinking that it's like taking the author out of the equation. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. 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 Mhm. Yeah. And that's where it's like, and there's some niches like that are constantly getting new books, like Star Wars, for example. There's always new books being released. Like there's constantly, you have the Legends books now that were original canon that are no longer canon. There are hundreds and hundreds of those. You have the High Republic books, you have the Old Republic Legends books, and then the Legends books that were the original expanded universe. You have the new books that take place in the new expanded universe. That's the new post post OT movies. Like you have there's always getting new books. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. Yes. Uh-huh. Like, and there's some niches like that are always getting new books, but then it's like if you have a niche for Twilight and just Twilight, there's a good chance she's not going to write any more in that series. Now, I thought there was like rumors that she was possibly going to write some more in it. I don't know, but it's like if you like Divergent and the Maze Runner, and there's no more books in that series, and there's not going to be any more books in that series, then it's like that's where it's like I can see how that would be hard, and it's like you don't want to branch out from that one series that you love, but it's like if you give up and coming authors or indie authors or new authors or like just like have people seen how many books are in like Barnes and Noble bookstores, or like there's tons of books, and it's like just explore the internet. Like I know people hate AI, but go to AI and say, hey, I need more books that give me the same vibe as this, and it will suggest you some things. And you can say, hey, I only want indie authors, and they're like, okay, here, try these. And it's like, I know you don't like AI stuff, and it's like, I get that, I get why people don't like it, but it's like there are tons of ways to find new books without going to an AI chat that essentially is like a your slash name book that somebody like from Wattpad. It's like that's essentially what it is. It's like a new techie version of that. Mhm. Yeah, yeah, no, yeah. Mhm, mhm, yeah, yeah, mhm, exactly, mhm, exactly, yeah, mhm, yeah. And that's where I'm like, if the AI hate wasn't a thing, nobody would care. And that's sad because it is affecting authors, like indirectly affecting authors, especially with the more that people kind of like look into that. um mhm, mhm, yeah, mhm, mhm, yeah, 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 it, yeah, 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 I see that. Yeah, like, and that's the way I say it. It's like it feels no different than like somebody that's made a fan fiction, like a Lord of the Rings fan fiction with Legolas, or King Thranduil, Legolas's father, and instead of saying like your name or the reader, they created a character's name, but they're basing it on themselves. Like there's no difference there. The main difference between the two is the fact that this company is paying people to promote it. So people are getting paid for this kind of thing. And it's like a really weird gray area because it's like they're not writing it themselves, so they're not in it's not, I don't, it's not, would it be copyright infringement because they're not writing it? It's a computer generating it. So it's like, I don't know, it's so weird. It's like people taking advantage of that weird gray area with, I don't know, it's weird. It's interesting. Yeah. That's annoying. That's annoying. Mm, mhm. Yeah. And that's where it's like I feel like there's a gray area between human beings and a computer. Like within like the like I don't want to get too political, but like the legal system, I feel like there needs to be more clarification. If AI is going, if technology is progressing the way it is, and AI is becoming a part of our daily lives, then people things need to be adjusted to reflect that, or there needs to be some clarification on some things, because that's definitely not fair. Because yes, an author can a reader can read books to learn how to write, but if I go in and am replicating, and you know how dumb AI is when you ask it to write something, and like in the style of this author, and it's going to give you a passage that's just barely falls out of that range of being plagiarized. And we've seen it happen with authors, and it's like it's not that smart. It's smart in some ways but not others, and it's like there's a distinct difference. If I were reading your books to learn how to write and go through and make a book called Trials. Trials. That's a bunch of people dying in an event, in a competitive event. Now, would you consider that to be plagiarizing? Yeah. Because it's literally taking your idea, changing some names, and saying it's mine. I didn't learn anything. But it's like there's a gray area there, and there's nothing to clarify what is okay and what is not. Mm-hmm. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I agree. Mm-hmm. Yeah. 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 Which is essentially what it does. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I get that. Okay. Last kind of little thing that I had. A couple little small things. Okay, the new if anyone knows like classics, the Iliad and the Odyssey, there's a new movie called The Odyssey. Apparently, there's a new trailer that's been released, but the only way you can watch it is by going into theaters, and it plays before a specific movie, but I forgot to write down which movie it is. Um, Uh-huh. I know. I like it. It's kind of like bringing that concept of going back to the movies. Okay. It plays before the new Jurassic World Rebirth movie. It's the very first. Yeah, yeah. Okay, it's the very first trailer for Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey, playing in theaters before showing of Jurassic World Rebirth. The trailer is currently a theatrical exclusive and has not been officially released online, though some recordings have appeared on social media because people don't understand boundaries. And it's like they want to ruin the fun for everybody. But I'm so excited because like literally they had pictures of the set, and it was like it kind of like give me nostalgia in the sense that the set was actually a set and not like it wasn't just kind of like it was an actual ship and an actual water. It looked really cool. It was just like I don't know. I'm excited, and it's Christopher Nolan's fantastic. So it's like it's gonna be great. Yeah, I know. We need to plan a night to yeah. We need to plan a time too. Yeah. Yeah. Breaking Bad. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm. Yeah. I have a feeling it's going to fall doom to um the trend that is these big companies think let's invest in this because everyone's talking about it, and then people stop talking about it and they're like let's not invest in this, nobody's talking about it, and I'm like you do not realize how trends work. It feels like there's some really oh hmm uh, yeah. All right. The only other thing I had was that I guess I noticed that the part two of the Onyx Storm graphic audio comes out soon, and it really irritates me that they release the parts of a graphic audio at different times. I would much rather wait longer and get them both at once rather than listen to part one and then have to wait months to get the next one. It's really annoying. It annoys me. And I understand that the authors have no control over that whatsoever, and it's the companies that are doing it. But it's like, whatever company is making these graphic audio novels, do both and then release them at the same time. Thanks. That was the last of my talking points. And that was my TED Talk. Thank you for attending my TED Talk. But yeah. Clickbaity, sounds like. Yes. Are they not including him? That's annoying. They have to reach a word count. It sounds like they're trying to include all of the big characters in the first season because they're afraid it's not going to continue. But then it's like the more they include in the first season and the more go away from the books, the more people are going to get upset because they promised that they were going to make it book accurate, and then they start changing everything. And it's like not everything, but they start adding stuff. They start changing races. They start doing a lot of different things. Um, yeah, that's my first gut reaction is that it sounds like they're trying to add all of the big characters in the first season to as like I don't know if it's like to get people excited to like oh cool it shows this character that's so cool, but it's like I don't know. Yeah, yeah, I don't know. I'm honestly not really excited for that. Like I'll watch it, I'll try it to see how I feel about it, but I'm not up in arms like yeah let's do this. I don't care. It's like it'll be okay I guess. I finally have all the movies and that's all I care about. And I've read all the books now. Other than A Cursed Child, I still haven't read that one yet, but I will eventually. Eventually. But yeah. That's not that's not going to happen. Big company the big companies like that are going to be all for how do I make quick money. And the best way for them to make quick money is to have a computer pump out a bunch of books. I mean, look at Disney. They pumped out a bunch of really quick TV shows that nobody cared about and everyone hated. They didn't hate them, but it's like it's very mediocre and not very many people watched them or people did. They're like, "Oh, that's okay, I guess." And people are and then when they start releasing actual movies again, nobody cares. Well, not nobody, but like people don't care as much as they did when like a new Iron Man movie came out, or a new Thor movie came out, or a new Captain America movie came out, or a new Avengers movie came out. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's what these companies are going to start doing with books. They're going to start using AI to pump out book after book after book. And as we know about AI, it's not the best at creativity and making things personal. No, you're okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. It it in an ideal world, I would love for the Big Five to make a promise. No, they can say that, but what's really stopping them from going back on their promise? Let's be real. They can announce something on social media to make people happy with them so they get more money, and then behind the scenes release these things without telling people. And nobody can do anything about it. Which is sad. It's sad. Like it's like for what little good AI has done, it does not outweigh all of the things that it's starting to like compromise with. And it's like, I don't know. Yeah. That is true though. Yeah. Yeah. People's imperfections. Yeah. It's human imperfections that are causing AI to inherently be a bad thing. Because people are greedy. People are, um, like, at the end of the day, it's a people problem. Yeah. Yeah. Like, a pencil could be considered a weapon if you use it in the right way. But yeah, a pencil can also be very helpful for things like at school or writing notes or jotting down ideas or drawing a drawing. Like it can be helpful, but it can also be bad based on how you use it. And it's like that's why that's my biggest argument for people that say the internet has ruined a younger generation. It's like no, it's um, it's like people aren't teaching them the right and the wrong ways of like why this is a good thing and why this is not a good thing doing this. And it's like internet in and of itself is not bad. It's all the crappy people in the world that are doing a lot of bad stuff on the internet, and that's why the internet is considered a bad thing, because people. So moral of the story, be a better human being. Goal for today. Goal for the week, be a better human being. Yeah. 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 my yeah. Yes. Mhm. Yes. Yeah, for sure. And then I updated the Discord link not too long ago in the profile, so if you want to join our Discord, it's there. I am horrible about checking to make sure that the link is still active because it expires after so long. So, but yeah, if you want to join our Discord, that's the thing. If you don't know what Discord is, it's literally like a group where you can video chat like we are right now, or you can voice like type and talk to people. Um, yeah, and it's like a little space that it's like a little fun little space for people to just build a community. So it's there. Yeah. All right. We'll talk to you later. Bye.